Let's go. Are you kidding me? Arkansas fans.
Obviously, we're disappointed because we had the statistics were way in our favor.
This was definitely one of the best games that Sam Pittman has coached and the Hogs have played under his leadership, especially considering it's on the road versus an Oklahoma State team that's very experienced. And honestly, one thing that really stood out to me was Arkansas in this game just made a lot of plays, right? This is Danico Slaughter. That's a well-thrown ball. It could have been caught, but Slaughter gets his hand in there and makes a play. And the story here was Ollie Gordon, okay? So you see Arkansas is in a two-ish high shell right here. So you motion in someone. Teams love to do this versus too high. You motion somebody in here to give you one extra body. So you see Arkansas here is at a 6 to about 7 to 8-ish man advantage if you include the quarterback. And this is an amazing job stopping this run. Give a lot of credit right here to whoever this was knifing in here, eating up all these blocks. Good job by Spence scraping over that, number 22. And now you just need a fill. And honestly, man, this was Davalier the whole way because there was a little gap for Ollie Gordon to get through, and Davalier is able to get just enough of him to slow him down, and that's some really good gang tackling. And to start things off, this play honestly really set the tone. They decide to RPO it. I think Gordon finds a way through here if he does hand this off, but man, Braxton in particular was spectacular, right? Gets very physical. They really let the DBs play in this game, and that benefited Arkansas and T. Will's aggressive defense, and that just blew up this RPO the entire way. All right, so we move ahead here, and man, I've told you guys all offseason, once again, I'm not an Arkansas fan, just from a neutral perspective, Jaquindon Jackson is the most underrated running back in the SEC, and to me, by far the best player on this team, right? He is so under-freaking appreciated, and he showed it in this game. But once again, one of my favorite things about this Arkansas defense in this game, normally when upsets happen, it's because the other better home team just makes a ton of mistakes, which Oklahoma State did do. But honestly, this is just Arkansas making plays, right? Arkansas's DBs were the real MVPs in this game. Look at that ball skill to get in there and break that up. All right, so here's Bobby Petrino running a staple of the New England Patriots. This is a variation of a play called Hoss Juke, okay? And this isn't really Hoss Juke, but like I said, it's a variation of it. Hoss means you have goes from your slot receivers, comebacks from your outside receivers, and a juke route over the middle. And this isn't a juke route. It's just a little dig right here. And this is just excellent offense. I feel every team should run a variation of Hoss Juke. I think I showed you a clip from when the New England Patriots used to do it. And my favorite thing about it is it opens up the middle of the field, okay? Because the go routes draw these overhangs, and it just opens up so much space. So Taylen Green right here, this is hanging on to this go route way too long. Obviously, a three-man rush really helps out the cause here. So he should have already been off of that to here. So this ball should have already been thrown. But, you know, it's so wide open. The design of Bobby's offense keeps things very open, lots of space, and Green is eventually able to get there. And obviously, Isaiah Satania, you want the football in his hands because he can do things like that. Satania was freaking amazing, and he was also amazing in my EA college football stream that we did last Friday. Y'all, man, Jaquindon Jackson's just really freaking good, man. And none of this is surprising to me. None of this, okay? Anybody that's watched my streams knew that, you know, I told you he had all SEC potential. And honestly, this is better blocking. You're pulling a guard. You're pulling a tight end around. Good to see Luke Haas. Man, that's good stuff, sealing everything. 97's out of the club. And, yeah, there was a little bit of a tug right there. That might be called for holding at times. But still, it's really good offense. And, man, Taylen Green, when you play better teams, you've got to make this throw. This is a huge miss. Unfreaking believable design right here. Unfreaking believable, okay? You're in 12 personnel. You guys know how much I love 12 personnel, especially with Arkansas, because you have two tight ends that will play professional football. okay, you're split zoning one of these tight ends to draw the flat, okay? But what you're doing here is you're actually targeting the other inline tight end on the over, okay? And the go route is going to take this corner. All right, this, I can't tell you guys how unfreaking believably creative this is. All right, and I love play action fakes out of 12 personnel. So Taylen Green running to his left. Now remember, it's really hard to stick with this tight end going across the formation. He's right there, okay? Now, you can make a strong case that this route needs to be bent a little bit more over here. Broden also got open for a top shelf throw. We don't want to throw this one, obviously, ever. But you see the design of this has two guys open, and Green is late, very, very late, and this ball is behind him. If you throw it out here, it's a touchdown. And it's still almost caught right there by Washington. So guess what you decide to do, okay? Bobby says, F it. Let's get in 12. Let's run behind our tight ends here. And this time you're split zoning the tight end again. Man, this blocking is really good. Look at the center right here. Who is that, Nichols? Is that his name? Man, that is nasty. That is absolute grossness right there. And Jaquinda Jackson, once again, if you give him just an alley, he's going to fall forward every time. All right, we move ahead here. Arkansas, once again, gets the football back. All right, this is Jaquinda Jackson to a T, okay? He knows this isn't there. So you know on outside zone, get vertical if you can. 97 was put in a jail cell by Arkansas's offensive line all day. I mean, it was really good blocking up front. And Jaquinda would tell you he's got to make this guy miss right here. But still, ridiculous run. Ridiculous. All right, 3rd and 6. I think some of you watched the Philadelphia Eagles game, right? And this was a big discussion point. So a lot of you are Cowboys fans. You're familiar with Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore's now with the Eagles. And the Eagles were last in the NFL in pre-snap motion, okay? This year, they're already amongst the leaders. Now, we only have a one-game sample size. But pre-snap motion is what you want to do. And one of my favorite things to do with pre-snap motion, I talked about this in my Tennessee-NC State film study, it's just stack, right? Because on this pre-snap motion, you see that it's man coverage, okay? So I like this matchup over here because it is so hard as a DB to guard all of this pre-snap motion, okay? And you see it forces the DBs to have to communicate and say, hey, and there's a lot of different calls that goes into it. If this guy goes this way, I'm taking him, you got to take him, or I'm staying with him, you pick him up. It's very, very confusing. So the stack here really makes it difficult for this defender to get to Isaiah Satania. Okay, this is making life easier on your quarterback. Also give the selfless Isaac Tesla a lot of credit for helping create this space right here for Taylen Green. And look at this ball placement. Bang. Okay, not the absolute best ball placement, but that was honestly the design opening things up for Arkansas. All right, so Arkansas's offensive line had a really good day up to a point. Now, I understand that a lot of blame is going to be put on 54 right here, but the truth is, look at how far Taylen Green has dropped back here. Now, you can't really step up into this because, well, there's interior pressure here, but when you're this far back into the pocket, you're not really helping out your offensive line at all, especially if you're running mesh, which is what Arkansas is running here. Mesh is a shorter developing play that doesn't require this deep of a drop. So when I'm right here, I would probably go on ahead and start stepping up into this, even though there's not really a whole lot to step up into. Or if you know it's man coverage and you see this, what a lot of QBs do, and Miller Moss for USC is actually really good at this, you've got to know that if Isaiah Satania is in a foot race and it's man coverage, fade this way and throw a duck of a pass here, and this is off to the races. I mean, this is probably a touchdown to seal it.
Pittman was telling us there were a few times where Oklahoma State was bringing more defenders and don't have blockers.
I feel like, of course, it's tough, but, I have to do a better job of, getting the ball out. PETRINO talks about, getting my hips up and fading more.
Right, especially if they're in man and they're blitzing here. This is at least a 30-yard gain. But Green, once again, as a passer, as you guys have seen, it was not the absolute best day for him in this first half. He gets hit, and it's a pick six, okay? That's really good design by Bobby. You just need your quarterback to make a better play. I'll show it to you really quickly what I'm talking about, okay? As you can see, it's a very heavy blitz. This isn't a shallow drag. He actually did have a shallow drag for a touchdown just like this. But you see how he fades to the left? He knows that there's a guy unblocked and just throw this ball fading away. And if you know that it's man coverage on a deep over, you just take that all day. I'm very shocked that he was not able to catch him. So give Arkansas a lot of credit. They're able to bounce back. Okay, the very next drive. All right. The good thing about the pick six is that it did keep that Oklahoma State offense on the bench, and they probably got even colder than what they already were. Okay. I love also the design of this. If you know that they're running a lot of man coverage, the best thing you could do to block DBs is spread them out and just run goes. Okay. Because that just takes them totally out of the run fit. And once again, there is Mr. Jaquindon Jackson getting vertical on the zone handoff, right? Now you just need some good blocks down the field, and you do get those. That's really good stuff right there by Tesla. And you get to here, okay? The fumble. Now, they did overturn it, and it did go back to Arkansas. If you're Jaquindon Jackson, okay, I understand truck sticks make for good highlights, but they really don't do anything, right? They only lead to fumbles and injuries, okay? Don't just take a hit head on, because normally if you truck stick someone, you're not running for many yards after that. Still, Arkansas ball. This will sound like hyperbole here, but you can make a case that this first half was one of the best in Bobby Petrino's career. I mean, this is just, as a film study analyst, this is erotic, right? Like, literally, I am feeling very warm inside. I love seeing elite play callers run beautiful offense. Play action, it's kind of the same thing you saw a little bit earlier in the red zone, but this time you're doing it with the receiver running the over, okay? And you have split zone action here with Luke Haas, all right? So Taylen Green right here has a lot of different options, and this time he's rolling out to his right side, right, his dominant side. He could have thrown this to Luke Haas here, and that's a huge gain, but he makes the right decision to get the football more vertically to your number one option, and it is a huge explosive gain. You get to the 2nd and 10. Man, this is just really good stuff right here. It's 12 personnel again, okay? I'm glad Bobby watched the channel to know to run 12 personnel. It is a cheat code if you have enough tight ends, right? It's part of why Jaden Wilson quit the team, because if there's more tight ends playing, there's less receivers playing. And this is what having an extra tight end does. It outgaps you in your run fit, okay? So I think that's Posky right there. He seals this into the inside. And look, when you seal someone into the inside, it creates a pile, right? Look, that's 3 Oklahoma State defenders having an repertoire amongst themselves, okay? And that's just a wide open hole. And honestly, anybody's running through there. Jaquindon's able to make a guy miss, but it's just perfect physical block. All right, we get to the 2nd and 11, and I'm about to pile on Sam Pittman. I understand I've been labeled a Sam Pittman hater. Obviously, today was a very good day for him. Arkansas played well, regardless of the result. The fact that they came out and played this good really shows you something, okay? So, a good throw, an even better catch, and Broden was in bounds, but they called him out of bounds, okay? This is also an indication that he was in bounds, right? Look at how many coaches here are saying that he actually caught it, right? I understand that they're biased in saying that it's a catch, but I would have definitely reviewed this, right? You still have all 3 of your timeouts. So you get the other replays, and I tweeted this out during the game. If you don't follow me, Arkansas fans, I will see things that no one else sees, I promise you, okay? Including screaming at the screen for Arkansas to review the Jaquindon Jackson fumble, which they did overturn, right? And they did review it because all turnover plays are reviewable. I'm also open to Arkansas having me in their coach's booth, right, as a game manager. It's one of my favorite things to do is game management. So there needs to be someone in the booth telling Sam Pittman to challenge this, right? You have all 3 of your timeouts. You still have the 2-minute timeout, even if you were to miss this and get the 3rd and 11. But since it's 2nd and long, the chances of you picking up a 3rd and 11 is very, very, very small. So you've got 2 challenges. There's Hunter Yurachek right here. He's got a better angle than anyone. Bang, it's caught, and the toe is still down, okay? Look at when the ball actually hits the hands. Bang. All right. Toe down. And ESPN can even zoom in closer from the replay booth. That would have been overturned, and Arkansas could have gone for the kill shot here at the end of the second half. There were some that were very critical of how Sam Pittman managed the end of the second quarter. I understood it. If you're getting the football back to start the third quarter, why would you even risk at all giving Oklahoma State the ball back? So I'm fine with living for one final Hail Mary, and because they brought a blitz, which is what you should do in this situation, he decides to take the underneath here to Armstrong, and it doesn't go anywhere. But I was fine with Sam being very conservative in that spot. So for brevity, we move ahead, and Arkansas got the ball back to start the second quarter. And I'll be honest, Oklahoma State's defense just stepped up and made some really difficult plays to get Arkansas's offense off the field. So I really couldn't blame anyone, right? Oklahoma State's got good players too, and this was a really good throw. Braxton almost gave up a touchdown earlier in the drive, and he gives one up here. But it's called back for an illegal low block. So really, this had no impact on the play. Anton is not getting to the quarterback, even if this is a semi-decent block. But it is a legal block outside of the frame, the 10-2 frame that they call it. So Arkansas eventually gets the benefit of the penalty, and Oklahoma State has to settle for a field goal. And remember, earlier in the drive, they missed a touchdown where Braxton was burned. So Arkansas gets very, very, very lucky here. So Arkansas commits a false start penalty. They were also stopped on first down. So what does Bobby do? Get back at 12 personnel with pre-snap motion, right? It's really hard to account for all these guys. You as a defender have to worry about, well, are they running? Are they blocking? Jackson's also out of the game. So you should think that it's going to be a throw. But one thing Bobby is a master of, and a lot of great play callers are really good at this, is delaying the route, right? Have at least one of your receivers not just fly out. And what that does is you're able to run behind these guys, and it becomes very difficult to account for this, right? Shallow drag, wide open, and you're able to hit this. It's a bad throw, though, right? Taylen Green's ball location needs to get better, but Broden, as you guys know, has gotten a lot better as well, and he's able to pick up a first down. That is a huge broken tackle right there. So remember I talked about Oklahoma State? So remember when I said Arkansas got lucky? Well, Oklahoma State gets lucky here, okay? Jackson, you've just got to catch this. I understand that this play was blown up, and he's got really good instincts, so he probably felt the pressure here. This probably isn't going for that many yards. Keeps his eye off the football, and it's a fumble, and Oklahoma State gets it, okay? Self-inflicted wounds, okay? Arkansas had a chance to blow this thing out, and they kept choking and showing you how valuable Taylen Green is to any offense, right? And I'm going through this right now as an LSU fan, knowing that Jaden Daniels isn't there anymore. So they motion a tight end to the right and then bring him back to the left. And I want you to see this, okay? Arkansas made a smart decision. They said, look, Alan Bowman on the zone read stuff, we are going to force you to pull it. This is really good stuff right here by the defensive end whose job normally is to stay with the quarterback. But the end right here, I think this is Davalier, chases down Ollie Gordon from behind. Now you notice if Bowman would have pulled this, this would have been an absolutely massive gain. Taylen Green, we didn't show you some good zone read pulls he had earlier for like 4 and 5 yard gains. Taylen Green is pulling this for a huge explosive gain. But because you don't have to respect his ability to run, you're able to chase that down from behind and just make it a 5 yard gain. So I honestly don't know what happens here. I'm actually recording this while all this happens. And yeah, all right. I'm guessing this is going to be some huge slant in breaker. Man, I do not like this defensive call. I really, really, really don't. I don't like that Arkansas is in too high. I would anticipate that they're going to try and get something intermediate. So you would be in this coverage to make sure you don't get beat deep, right? The downside, if you're going to play man, and it's straight man coverage, is you're leaving this wide the frick open. And Bowman is a good over-the-middle thrower, okay? And you'll see that they have the perfect call for this. This guy is carrying over here, and this becomes a little bit of a pick for this guy to come over the top right here. And this is just too easy. I don't think I would have called this. I would have guarded against the middle of the field and been a little bit more aggressive to force him to kick a long field goal, okay? Or have them try to throw a ball over the top, which is something they had not really been able to do all game. So I want to show this quick montage because I wasn't able to get to every single play. I mean, it's just amazing some of the stuff that Bobby did, okay? Play action works even if there is no play action fake. Look at how hard these linebackers are biting to respect Jaquindon Jackson. And once again, Taylen Green, all right? This is just easy quarterbacking when you're this wide open in space. And you would see Arkansas run these kinds of things in practice. Now, I would run the practice footage, but I don't want to get anyone in trouble here. And this was his best throw of the day, okay? Remember, motion, delay right here, stack these receivers. It's really tough for DBs to deal with this. And this time, this is a high level throw right here by Taylen Green. Okay, not throwing with the absolute most anticipation, but this is still really good anticipation for a quarterback of his skill level. And look at that. Throw the ball up to Isaac Tesla, right? Man, those hands are vice grips. One of Taylen's best throws of the day.
Played 3 quarters of great football.
All right, game's getting tight. It's 3rd and 4 on the road. You have to feel pretty good if you're able to score a touchdown. By the way, I have not seen this play yet. I am probably behind you guys that were actually watching this live because I'm cutting this while all of the plays are happening to get it out as quick as possible. So let's see what happens here. Okay. Oh, man. Safety bails out. Taylen Green's looking over here. I hope Armstrong's cutting this way. Yes. Chunk it. Please, Taylen. Please just put it on his chest. He's scoring if you put it on his chest. He is scoring if you put it on his chest. Oh, God, he had to fall for it. Oh, man. Oh, God. Oh, that is, oh, man. That just, God. It's still a good game, right? I'm telling you, the first plays of fourth quarters are always chaotic. Always chaotic, all right? Really good quarterbacking, okay? Waiting for, well, first off, seeing what the safety decides to do. He decides to bail out here, okay? Also, if this was an RPO, I don't think it was. Play action, no, this was not an RPO. It's a throw all the way. Allowing this to clear through this window, good job. Good footwork as well. You see his feet were pointed this way. You want your feet to be married with your eyes. It's a really wide base, okay? If you have an overextended base and too much weight on the front leg, it causes the ball to dip down, especially if you're a 6'7" quarterback. It's kind of more of a pitcher's motion. You hit him in the chest, you're probably sealing this game away. The Fox play action again, all right? Love this play design, okay? Okay, looks like it's a quick screen to the right. Oh, no. It's a quick screen and go. I like it, okay? Let's see if Taylen can get a good throw. Okay. There is someone in his arm, in his space here. The protection's good. I would guess that this ball could have been delivered a little bit sooner. So let's see what happens here. Okay. I'm about to fast forward. I can't deal with the anticipation of not knowing what's happening on these plays. Makes it kind of harder to break down. Okay. If you're leading him perfect, it's a ball game. And, oh, you didn't. That's a good play right there by 2. Let's see if Armstrong could have still caught this or fought back towards it. No, that's two got his hand right there. Look at this. Bang. Yeah, it hit him right in the wrist. Bad throw. Ugh. 3rd and 10. All right. My play call would be a QB draw here. All right. Oh, man. It looks like they had, man, I don't know what the hell this is. Because you see the offensive lineman engage or release here. Okay. So if they release, it's probably some variation of a screen. Okay. It is not a screen, though. All right. Taylen Green is able to break contain. All right. Let's hope something's open down the field. I'm about to just, once again, fast forward and just go through it. And, oh, yes. Yes, Taylen. Yes. Look at that, bro. Hits Broden, who had an absolutely phenomenal game. right? Especially if you factor in the non-challenge. Good stuff. All right, so we move ahead to the 2nd and 9. I did see this play, and part of playing quarterback is avoiding disasters, right? This is honestly the best play of the game, all right, that he had the entire game. Avoid disasters, and he's able to do so right there. Man, I give Eric Mateos and Sam Pittman a lot of credit coaching up this offensive line. This is a huge protection mistake, huge. I don't know if it's Taylen Green calling this or Jaquindon Jackson calling this or the center. It could be anyone. But the offensive tackle should never in this situation pick up this outermost guy. You want to make sure that the innermost guy is blocked. So whether it's the tackle or it's a protection call where Jaquindon Jackson stays in and picks this guy up, you should never do this. You should never, ever, ever have this, okay? Either way, this is honestly fine right here from Taylen Green, because you would like to think that one of these is going to be open, all right? But there is a lot of pressure. You would have liked to have seen him work a little bit quicker to the shallow drag, because pre-snap, if all these guys blitz and you feel that all these guys are blitzing, you should automatically be working here, okay? You hit this and bang, you got him, and it's a far easier field goal as well. Man, it's just slightly off quarterbacking. All right, so I'm just now watching this field goal, and judging by the history of Arkansas football, this is probably no good. Let's see. Come on, be good. Be good. Be good. Be good. God dog it. Dude. Alrighty, don't forget, we do live streams every Monday at 5 p.m. Just Arkansas live streams. One of your favorite radio personalities, Ty Richardson, will be joining us. So 5 p.m., join us. Ty will be on with us at 5:30. Man, this is really sexy offense right here. That's why Mike Gundy has been one of the best coaches. He's running a whip right here, all right? Safety. I mean, it's also very exotic here, having Landon Jackson sit back into coverage. If the receiver would have just stayed here, he would have had it, covered. But the safety or the corner here, Slaughter, who had a really good game, gets beat right here. And Oklahoma State's receivers are good football players, right? And you're able to pick up the first down. All right, so you're able to get off the field here. All right, so you're able to get off the field here on 3rd down, okay? Oklahoma State had a huge drop, huge in the breadbasket drop on the play before this. If you're watching the game, you know this, right? And I'm still trying to catch up to you guys. Could he have thrown this or this? I don't know, but Arkansas catches a break. All right. Man. I'm telling you, like the famous philosopher Pinto says, okay? And I'll let you in on a little secret. So Pinto obviously is by far the best Arkansas Twitter account, okay? He and I are childhood friends, all right? And he always says, hog going to hog. I mean, I get it. He's probably spooked here that his foot is being hit by his own guy. But in this situation, you've got to be yelling out, Peter, okay? That's what they normally say, punt returners, to get the hell out of the way and just let me catch it, right? And in this situation, it should be an auto fair catch, right? Your offense is playing well. There's no need to set up any kind of return here. And he just got spooked. So once again, if you would have told Arkansas fans, Ollie Gordon, 10 carries, 24 yards, you would say you're winning the game. And honestly, you are dominating this game, all right? You're just choking, all right? It's just typical Arkansas. Little pick play, we can get into the legalities of it. The receiver did stop, okay? He is granted his right. So look, he is stopped right here, okay? And Slaughter runs into him. Once again, it's bang, bang. They initially called the flag, and they called it back, and it's a touchdown, all right? Now, I swear to God, I have no idea what happened on this 2-point play. Let's see. All right, so play action here. Oh, yes, it's the same thing you saw earlier. Remember when Taylen Green missed the throw on the delayed over here, okay? Alan Bowman, this is a little bit easier because it's to his right side, okay? And Arkansas is just not able to see it, all right? I guess it's Metcalf's responsibility to pick up the over here, okay? Unless it is strictly straight man-to-man coverage. And the thing that sucks about it is Metcalf accidentally cuts off his own guy in coverage, all right? Just a really good play call. Little unluckiness right there for the Arkansas defense, and we got a tie game. All right. The one thing I liked about Arkansas was their ability to respond. Off the pick six, they were able to go down there and score. And I saw the first down play. It was a good throw to Andrew Armstrong. And I like the fact that Arkansas went to their go-to guys with the game on the line. Luke Haas as a blocker. This is really good stuff. Seal this in to allow your puller to have a clean run through, and he does. Now you just need Jaquindon Jackson to do something special. This is as open as it's going to get, okay? You really need him to cut upfield. That's a good job switching the football to the right hand. That is nasty to give yourself the stiff arm. And now let's see what you can do. That's a really good run, y'all. He's still on his feet. Wow. That's good running. I know it was wide open, but switching the ball, breaking that man, that's just good stuff. Man, it was a brain fart kind of day for Taylen Green. Okay, as you can tell, this was not a great quarterback performance overall. Was he, for the most part, good? Yes. Okay, man, the thing that sucks about this is if you do hand this football off the correct way, or if it is a play-action fake, I do think this was a handoff. There's room. There's a lot of room. Because look, you can see the linemen are down the field. Instead, it's a negative yardage gain. All right, so someone needs to ask Sam Pittman or Bobby Petrino about this play because they're calling a screen, or at least it looks like it's a screen, right? So these three linemen decide to go downfield, all right? So this just looked like it was a screen to the right side with how the linemen look, and you can see 76 is peeking behind. But you'll see right here, Jaquindon Jackson at the last second decides to actually pick up this blitzer, okay? It looks like he was deciding to go to the right, and then at the last second, he peeks back here to the left and cuts, okay? The only person that could have been the screen, receiver here was him. So I don't know if he just freelanced that or had a brain fart, but Taylen Green does something really special here, all right? Now, he knows he can't throw, all right? This is very smart to just stick your head down and just go, right? You can't throw because all these linemen are down the field, all right? And he almost breaks through here and almost makes this play, okay? Maybe Jaden Daniels gets out of that, but Taylen, that was ridiculous playmaking ability. So we get to here. A little shocked that Arkansas did not decide to kick the field goal, okay?
Yeah, I just felt like at that point we just missed one from the same distance. And I felt like we needed a little bit of momentum, and I felt like we were going to make it on 4th and 5. We busted.
It's 4th and 5. I guess let your offense decide it, okay? There's nothing there, all right? And 54, let's see. I'm a little shocked that he's not on the end right here. This guy doesn't look like he's blitzing. So 54, huge brain fart with the game on the line.
We busted a protection. And in all honesty, Tom, we were probably lucky to get the 4.5 that we got.
Right? That's so much pressure. So Green, he's just got to tuck and run. He just does. And that was a good job by 33 just to get a little swipe because that helped 93 go over here to make a play. God, that's ridiculous right here by Taylen Green. And he almost picks this up, y'all. Almost. But he is clearly short. All right, here we go. That's why Mike Gundy's one of the best coaches, right? You always have a play in your back pocket that you know is going to work. And if every offensive coordinator doesn't have one of these, any kind of tight end delay, all right? Tight end looks like he's blocking, all right? It's a reverse. No one's going to think he is ever going out for a pass. The only receiver that's even going out on a route here, both these DBs decide to run with them. So guess what? Tight end leaks, and it's night-night, basically. All right, this is a good job by Metcalf working his way back in. Tight end does have to wait on it, and Metcalf ends up making a touchdown-saving tackle, but you feel sick, right? It took a dipsy-doodle, doohickey kind of play for Oklahoma State to actually move the football down the field. outside of just a couple more times. But, man, that's tough. That's really, really, really tough. All right, 3rd and goal. And, man, this is a really sexy design. Ollie Gordon has been shut down, okay? So what do? You use him as a decoy and give it to someone else. You have a chance to make this play. Can't do it, all right? The defensive end is left unblocked for a reason. He's rarely making this play. Now, can Jalen Johnson, who's for the most part had a good game, get over the top of this and make a touchdown-saving tackle? And no, the tight end's able to get enough of a block, and it's a touchdown. All right, you're down by 7. Well, what do? Well, you decide to get vertical, okay? Love it. Play action fake, and guess what? You get exactly what you want. This DB inside leverage right here, it's a good route by Isaiah Satania, and this vertical is carrying this corner, so all this space is here, okay? This ball could be delivered now, okay? It might already could have been out, but he waited for it to get wide open as the quarterback develops. You know, you're able to throw this with more anticipation. And if you are throwing this a half second sooner, you're able to get him to where he doesn't have to completely stop and he can get the sideline here, okay? But once again, that's for higher level throwers. They could throw with a little bit more anticipation and gain an extra 10, 15, or maybe even a touchdown. And then on the 2nd and 9, on the very next freaking play, basically the next freaking play is actually 2 plays. Yet Lucas, right, who overall had a quiet day, had a really good day blocking actually, and Taylen Green actually does hit him in stride. Well, kind of, sort of in stride. He has to stop for it, right? So you notice Bobby called a lot of wide open stuff. It took a lot of catches where guys had to wait on it. Still, if he's at wide open, you just want to make sure you complete it, and you have the game-tying touchdown. All right, so we get to an absolutely massive 3rd down conversion, okay? Now, the first thing here, you have to give Oklahoma State a lot of credit for this protection. I actually really do like the decision here to pressure, okay? It wasn't necessarily a great pass rushing day for Arkansas. So what do? You call the blitz that is your bread and butter. Cross dog A-gap blitz. So you're bringing this guy through here. You're bringing this guy through here. Oklahoma State just has it covered. I mean, they have 2 guys guarding this A-gap right here. And it's just perfectly picked up this blitz, okay? You actually are able to split through there and get some pressure. But Alan Bowman's experience, he knows that when you have this much pressure, sometimes you just have to fade and just give your guy a chance to run into this space. And that's exactly what happens here, okay? It's stacked right here, and look, he's thinking that the center field safety is picking this up, and Metcalf is just out of position, right? He should be over the top of this, right? This is your deep middle. The corner has this vertical covered, okay? He just does. So Metcalf should have been a little bit more center field to cap this and in a lot better position to make this play. Still, overall, that is a ridiculous throw into a space right here. So Oklahoma State eventually hit a field goal, and Arkansas eventually picked up a 1st down. All right, I was very disappointed in Arkansas's clock management. Every team does 2-minute drill. Every single team. You should know that this is a clear spiking situation, right? Downs don't really matter with this less of time. So unless you had a play lined up, the fact that you decided to audible and change things up at this juncture is straight lunacy. So you instead just decide to spike it, and you end up burning 10 seconds off this clock. I'm not even going to show the spike because it is that inexcusable. So I want to give Taylen Green some props here, actually reading this through, okay? So split field safety. If it's split field safety, we want to attack right here. So this is actually some really good reading by Taylen Green, and Broden had a really good day. Look at this ball location too. Just missed him. Okay, that's good reading in a very difficult situation. So now we get to 3rd and 10, and this is a gotta-have-it play, and this just shows you that Taylen Green is a gutsy playmaker, okay? He does not panic. He doesn't decide to tuck and run, which would be straight death here, all right? You want to keep your eyes down the field, all right? Dual threat QBs, you would think, hey, I can run and be Superman. But he keeps his eyes down the field and makes an unfreaking believable throw. There is no window right there to throw that football to Armstrong. He just allowed his guy to make a play, and Armstrong definitely made a play. The Arkansas wide receivers in this game were really, really freaking good. Okay, some of it is really good play calling, but overall, the top 4 receivers were ballers. Arkansas, extremely out of sorts here with the game on the line. You know, in this situation, you just want to kick the field goal or just run a quick out, and the out needs to be very quick. It should not have been this deep of a route at all, but you're really playing with fire here, and man, this is Les Miles level stuff right here from Sam Pittman, okay? It's a smart decision to blitz. I would have blitzed as well, but man, he is hot, okay? This should have decided the game, all right? But this is ridiculous quarterbacking right here from Taylen Green, and that's an all-time drop, okay? What's very interesting about this is what if Armstrong catches this right here? Okay, he has to make a decision. Do I run straight out of bounds, or do I try and beat this guy to win the game? I actually think he's beating him to win the game if he elects to do it. It would have been an all-time decision right there. So Arkansas makes the field goal, and we go into overtime. What?
Did you think the gun pistols were inappropriate too? I did. I think that was ugly.
Wait, what was ugly?
The gun pistols, the to the team.
Oh, yeah. But you say you're getting sick watching the game?
No, I was, but I already puked.
All right, so we get to the first play of overtime, and I really do love this play design. Out of 12 personnel here by Bobby Petrino, okay? Once again, split zone this guy, cross field with your tight end right here. And what happens is this safety runs into the box. The free safety actually ends up taking Haas. Okay, so normally this is where you want to go with the football. That's the design of the play, but it's covered. Okay, so if this safety leaves center field to go here, we want to throw this football here. I know the DB is over this, but you want Armstrong in this situation to just go up there and make a play. So instead, Taylen Green decides to run it. It's not a bad option here because you know you could break contain around a thicker defensive end. And then he does eventually see Armstrong in the back of the end zone to throw this football to. And boy, oh boy, this ends up being a decent throw. It is there as well, and he just barely missed him. All right, second down, you get a really good run right here from Hill, and he gets vertical. Okay, absolutely good stuff right there. Once again, this Arkansas offensive line bullied Oklahoma State all day long. And, you know, we can get into a debate. Does Jaquindon Jackson make this guy miss and score? Obviously, he got hurt. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't, but still a good one. Yeah, so you then get to here. Once again, this isn't really all that smooth, all right? This is obviously, I mean, that's just dead. That's just dead, okay? And, you know, it's just dead. They called a run blitz, and they ate it alive. They made a good play. 2nd and 16, and this is just kind of weird, right? Edge guy gets to go through here unblocked. I don't really know what the design of this is, okay? What I'm guessing should have happened here, just, you know, process of elimination, I'm thinking the running back should be angling through here because I doubt that there is a design where the running back is running a deep corner here where you leave this guy unblocked. Because if he is angling in, he's catching this, and it's one-on-one for a touchdown. That's how I normally see the design of this play. But Taylen Green, while he's getting absolutely crushed, that is a freaking ridiculous feat of athleticism. He does get the ball to the tight end, Lucas. Right, so this 3rd and 13 play call is kind of puzzling to me, okay? You're running all of this into the boundary, okay? And obviously you're reading this, you know, over here to the left side. Once again, Armstrong is one-on-one at the bottom, but you're never looking that way. I don't even know if he's open or not. Protection does eventually break down. You can't really get mad at protection here. They ran a twist. That is really hard to hold on to. Okay? Right here, if you're Taylen Green, you can't always break contain to the right side, especially if he's untouched. One of the best things you can do as a quarterback is in the long term, if you keep breaking contain negatively, you're just going to eventually run into trouble. If he plants and actually tucks and runs through here, he's picking up this first down. Or he's rolling out and finding someone down the field like he had been all game. Instead, he's giving ground. Another thing on third down, I am less likely to roll out backwards because it can knock me out of field goal range here. So this is an all-time bad sack. And I tried to warn you guys in the UAPB game last week. He had that freaking ridiculous run. His pocket presence just isn't what it needs to be. He can take really bad, low IQ sacks. Tuck and run through here, just whatever you do, don't take a negative yardage sack. This was not a well-coached game at all from Mike Gundy. I was a big Gundy guy leading into the game, and I thought that was going to be a big mismatch, him versus Sam Pittman, especially with Gundy at home. To settle for a long field goal the way that they did was straight lunacy. Even if you do have a great kicker, which Oklahoma State likes, it is such a bad miss right there. Alrighty, so we get to the 2nd and 10. I've got to be real, y'all. I've got to freaking be real. This call pisses me off. It really, really, really does. I understand that there is a huge debate. If a penalty is a penalty in the second quarter, well, you call it in the second quarter the same that you would call it in the second overtime. You cannot call this. You cannot, under any circumstance, call this in the second overtime. Yes, it is a penalty by the book, okay? But this is a hustle play. Oklahoma State's got really good players. 80 is a beast, all right? I don't care if he slams him to the ground, right? It's not as if, he should have stopped. He should have stopped. The more I look at this, you've got to just let him go. You just do, okay? But they have been breaking a bunch of tackles. Both teams had been. I understand making sure you brought him to the ground. And you'll see, even as he's bringing him to the ground, Sorey lets him go, right? Look, his arms are off him. All right. Once again, Gundy, again, elite play call right here. Elite. So they're thinking that this is just going to be slam inside zone, right? They had kept trying to run Ollie Gordon up the middle. This time, it's a pitch into the field with the motion man, and you'll see that the tight end is also able to let Anton go, and he takes himself out of the play. And as you'll see, there's 4-7, and now you have 4-on-4 over here, and probably the number one running back in next year's NFL draft. This is just going to be a touchdown every single time. You just got out-schemed here, right? And T. Will is probably like, well, I could have done a better job defending this and have a better call. No, you didn't. It was just a perfect play call right there. And yes, if you're Braxton, would you like to see him put forth a little better effort there at the game on the line? Sure, but he's never making that tackle anyway. All right. And I feel really bad. Like, this is an all-time bad beat if you're holding an Arkansas 2.5 or 8.5 ticket. First thing is, this is inexcusable 2-point conversion defense because two guys are running wide the frick open. Okay, you leave the tight end. This is what you don't want. Like right at the goal line, just wide open. Bowman even sees him and still doesn't throw it, and eventually works to the backside and gets another guy wide open. That's inexcusably bad defense, and Ollie Gordon gets the final two pay dirts in this game. All right, 1st and 10. Arkansas is like, hey, I know we fumbled on this play earlier, but we saw you do a quick pitch with your go-to guy. Man, you got to be careful right here. That should have been a holding call. Umpire's actually looking right there at him, but decides to let it go. I'm a let it play kind of guy, but you just don't want to do that with the game on the line. Still, They don't call it, you pick up a first down. So for those that don't know, just to give you a little background here, I try to cut these film studies as the game happens. And look, at the beginning, I thought Arkansas was going to win. You saw how enthusiastic I was in the beginning. But I've tried to warn you guys about Taylen Green. I've tried to, okay? I told you the UAPB game wasn't as good as you probably thought it was, even if you account for the opponent, right? Taylen Green has very erratic ball placement. It doesn't get any easier than this, y'all. And I know you're like, just run the damn play. But it's just the truth. This is as basic of a play you'll see, okay? Just a little rail route. You couldn't have asked for anything better. You just couldn't. And you short arm it, right? And the thing is, all right, so I'm trying to get this out as quickly as I can. I don't have time to text my QB mechanic expert who really works with quarterbacks every single day. This seems a little nonchalant. I don't know. I've watched this a few times over. Okay, protection's absolutely perfect. Is it nonchalant? It looks like he kind of fades away, not the absolute best follow-through. It's also not the clearest angle. Yes, an underthrow is always better than an overthrow, but not in this instance, right? Because on a rail, a running back has forward momentum at a 45-ish degree angle. It's really hard to adjust to a low-thrown ball, okay? That's got to hit him in the chest. It just does, okay? All right, so this 4th and 1 call is going to be discussed. It's a bad call, all right? And I just went through this with LSU. They decided to do the same thing versus USC, and it sucks that Bobby Petrino called an absolute masterpiece, okay? But like The Sopranos, the ending was not to be desired, all right? Now, what makes this football game so cruel is, you guys already know what I'm going to say. Arkansas choked this game away. And guess who makes the big play? 97, who we pointed out all game was getting absolutely abused, all right? He swims to center immediately, all right? The second thing I don't like about this play call is they know you're running it, all right? The thing I really hate about bringing extra linemen in and getting really tight is your wide receivers had been playing really well. So Oklahoma State defensively is saying, hey, we like the fact that you're taking Broden off the field and you're taking Satania off the field, you're taking Armstrong off the field, because we know the likelihood that you're going to throw the football to whoever the heck this is very low. So they know that this isn't going to be a throw. Now, if you throw out of this, it's probably going to work, right? Because they're thinking for sure this is going to be a run. And the second thing is, this is your backup running back. I know he picked up a nice run Hill, the Florida State transfer. If it's Jaquindon Jackson and you let Jaquindon Jackson, who was the best player for you, decide this game, I'm okay with that. I can live with that. But it's also your backup, right? It's just a really, really, really bad play call. Now, I just went through this with LSU. They lost the USC game with a very similar play call. So this gets swam right here. Center's completely out of the play. This makes this gap a lot easier to read for 5 to fill. And that's just too easy if you're getting met before you're even at the line of scrimmage. So Jaquindon Jackson's not getting this. Bo Jackson's not getting this, okay? Barry freaking Sanders on his own field is not picking that up. It's just never, ever, 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 ever going to happen.
We made too many mistakes. We played extremely hard. I was proud of our defense. That's a good offensive team. And for 3 quarters, we held them to 6 points defensively.
So this is normally the fire Sam Pittman portion of the program. Full disclosure, I really do like Sam Pittman, and I will give you my honest opinion of him on this game. And it might not be what you think, but if it is in your heart's desire, this is really hard to do on game day where I have a lot of different stuff, but I really wanted to go super deep. If you can, drop a Venmo, Cash App, or Super Thanks, which is in the bottom right corner of your screen. So Taylen Green played great, right? Jaquindon Jackson played great, right? Andrew Armstrong, absolutely phenomenal. And the Arkansas receivers played well. The offensive line. The defense played well. How did Arkansas lose this game? Well, I want to do something that I have never done before, and it's pretty audacious for me to even suggest this. But I have heard of powerful people at the University of Arkansas, higher-ups, boosters, that watch my film studies, every single week. Sometimes I'm shocked at how many people actually do end up watching these things. So here's what I want to do. My email, powerhourscc@gmail.com, and my Twitter and Instagram is @CarterThePower. I am willing, pro bono, to help you guys win football games, right? Because one thing that I would have not let happen is in the booth, knowing that I have ESPN replays at my disposal, there's no way that I would have let that Tyrone Broden catch not allowed to be reviewed, right? There are some clear game management issues that Arkansas has, including the time management at the end of the fourth quarter. Now, once again, I'll defend Sam Pittman's end of second quarter time management because they were getting the football first to start, but that could have been handled a little bit better in my estimation as well. Now, once again, it's really hard to do these things, but I can help out. I do game plans for LSU on how I would actually attack the opponent. Anyone that knows me knows this. I will do that for Arkansas. Once again, pro bono, for free. They can just look at me and say, hey, you're just some YouTuber or whatever. But I'm willing to do it because I'm tired of my friends and some of my family members watching this program rip them to shreds. You heard my very own wife vomit, right? It is driving them insane that you keep losing these games. So normally at the end of this, I'm fire Sam Pittman. I'm not there because you outgained them 648 yards to 385. And of those 385 Oklahoma State yards, it was on that dipsy doodle trick play leak to the tight end. So really, the yard disparity was crazy. And yard disparities do tend to get crazy when there are pick sixes involved. But even with that said, this was a total butt whooping from Arkansas in this game. Okay? So why did you lose 39-31 where Oklahoma State was still able to cover the spread? Well, is some of it on Sam? Yes. Sam is not the absolute best between the headsets. I don't think that necessarily is news to anyone, but that's why I'm willing to offer my services because this has been an issue in these close games for so freaking many years, okay? The next thing, all right, why, though, specifically did Arkansas lose this game? Well, it's simple. It's Taylen Green. And Taylen played fine, right? He really, really, really did. And I can live with a quarterback who doesn't have pinpoint ball accuracy, especially at the collegiate level. But you guys saw, and I went back to try and count 4-ish to 5 different throws. Like, for instance, a pick six where, in the film study, and for those that don't know, like I'm telling you the truth, I'm giving the analysis while the game is actually going. It was encouraging, though, for Taylen Green to say the exact same thing he messed up on that pick six is what I suggested, right? Miller Moss fading away, allowing that shallow drag to have more room to clear out. That's good stuff. Bobby is telling him what he should be doing. You just got to be able to execute it, right? Taylen Green was not good enough to win this game. And in order to pull off major upsets on the road, you need your quarterback to make better throws. There were just too many balls that were not on location where if it hits the player in the chest or decently in stride, they're scoring, right? We counted 4 total throws in this game where that was the case. So a big part of this falls on Taylen Green's shoulders. And honestly, the more I've combed through this game in the past hour while doing this film study, I would say a good 70 to 80% of it is him. Now, once again, did he make a lot of plays in this game to help you win? Abso-freaking-lutely. Would you have been in the same spot with Malachi Singleton? Probably not. So it's one of those things, right, where the quarterback just has such a heavy impact on the game, and you saw it here today, right? Just a few extra plays, just a little bit better ball accuracy. So I hope you enjoyed this film study today. You can hit me up at Carter the Power or powerhourscc@gmail.com. And if you are higher up at Arkansas, I promise to keep it hush-hush. Well, I'll do it for free, I promise you. I do want to leave you with this. That might have been Bobby Petrino's best called game. And that's really, really, really saying something. It's definitely in his top 3 or 4. Obviously, 2010 versus LSU was just genius. But, man, that was truly spectacular play calling. And I do think Taylen Green played fine. You just need to be a little bit better to help put teams away, okay? And Power Hour SEC. Boom! Floating in your face from other videos. And tonight, we're doing ribs, baby. Let's go.